going to go live?
We have to do. Normally, the show was scheduled for an hour, but we have to. I'm really live on air. The show was scheduled for 1 hour.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, no problem. No problem. Is it clear now?
Yes, and we are live. Good evening.
Sure.
My name is Likuyani Eli, and of course, on behalf of Giltex Media, we are bringing you this interview with Mheshimiwa Badi Twalib Bady, mheshimiwa ambaye ni mheshimiwa wa eneo bunge la Jomvu. Sasa tunaungana naye moja kwa moja kutoka eneo bunge lake. Mheshimiwa, hujambo mheshimiwa? Karibu katika mjadala wa leo ambapo tutakuwa tukiongelea janga la corona. Sijui kama unanisikia mheshimiwa Bady.
Nakusikia vizuri ndugu yangu Lukiani, asante sana, na nafurahi kuwa hewani tukiwa pamoja na si jambo na naungana na nyinyi moja kwa moja. Niko sawa kabisa.
Kwa minajili ya kuwahusisha wote, sasa tuta switch kidogo tuongee kwa lugha ya Kimombo, japo najua sana we kama mpwani ungependelea tuendelee kwa Kiswahili.
No problem. This is an all-inclusive program. Tunataka kuleta everybody on board.
That's very sure. So in case you're joining us, we are actually being joined by Honorable Badi Twalib Bady, the Member of Parliament from Jomvu. And tonight we are going to discuss matters COVID-19. So, Mheshimiwa, before we even get started, how are you feeling for the moment? Unajisi vipi kiafya?
For sure I'm feeling good. Yes, ninaendelea vizuri. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling much better now. I'm out of danger. Yes, I'm out of danger.
So, when exactly were you diagnosed with COVID-19, Mheshimiwa, and how did you come to learn about it?
Yeah, it was on 9th of last month. That's when I was diagnosed. And from that time up to now, it's almost a month.
It's almost a month.
Yes.
Are you still struggling with some of the symptoms that come with it? And what were these symptoms that you actually experienced during your infection period?
Actually, I'm not struggling with the symptoms at the moment in time.
Yeah.
But during that time, there was a little bit of coughing, and I can say in their medical terminology as mild coughing.
It was only mild.
Only mild coughing and sort of fatigue at that particular moment. Yes.
So you discovered this based on what prompted you to actually take a test, or was it just a regular check at your doctor's, or how exactly did it happen?
For sure, it was a very interesting story, Lukiani, because everything was normal according to me, and sort of fatigue to me was just a normal thing because I normally have a lot of work to do. And it happened on a certain Sunday when I went to a place called Alidina to open up a parish together with Right Reverend Kivuva. And then after that, I proceeded to open 2 new roads, one in Aldina Royal and another one in a place called Aldina Interchange.
And this is in your constituency, sir, just to be
right. This is all in my constituency. I'm trying to bring that story from where it all started.
Okay.
So from there, 2 days after that, there was an International Women's Day being held in my area. And as a member of parliament, definitely I was to be a key person in participating in that particular function. So on that particular day, it happens that the next or the following day, His Excellency Governor Ali Hassan Joho of Mombasa wanted me to accompany him to Zanzibar.
Yeah.
And as you know, according to MOH protocols, you need to have a COVID certificate before you cross the border.
That's true.
So governor told me to go to PhD for testing. And I told governor, no, I have an important function to catch up in my constituency. There was no way I will go to PhD for testing.
Yeah.
Because governor wanted me to accompany him, or he insisted much for me to go with him.
Yeah.
He decided to send his medical team to where I was.
Yeah.
Those people tested me up. They went away, finished my programs.
Yeah.
I went back home. The next day, that is when I established, after the results have come out, that I tested positive for corona. That is exactly how I came to learn that I was corona positive. But on that particular day, there was that coughing which was not normal, for sure, dry cough which was not normal, and sort of fatigue. So because of the nature of my work, I just thought that fatigueness has come because of a lot of work that I was engaged in. Yes, lakini hiyo ndio ilikuwa sababu that has prompted me to realize that I was corona positive.
Okay, fine. So you have the news. Did you cancel your trip to Zanzibar because now you cannot take your flights? Or did you say mwanaume ni kawaida?
Lokiani, hakuna mwanaume ni kawaida kwenye maisha. I had to cancel my trip, my friend. I told the governor, my brother, there would be no way I will accompany you to Zanzibar because I have tested positive. And that was a very hard experience to cope up with, because corona is not a joke. So on that particular day, I informed the governor that I will not be in a position to accompany him up. So I decided to cancel the trip, because nowadays, if you go for testing, they normally send you the results.
Yeah, by email or whatsoever, I suppose.
By email or whatsoever.
Yeah.
And basically the same. They post the results to all border posts and to all related areas. So even if I would wanted to go to Zanzibar in my own way, upon getting to Zanzibar, at the airport, they will have known that I was corona positive, and those people could have returned me to Kenya.
Okay.
But that is not the reason as to why ilinifanya nisiende. Afya yangu ndo ilikuwa bora mwanzo.
So now, Mheshimiwa, you have been diagnosed with COVID-19, and this is the 9th of March, I believe. What were the first steps you took? Because there are a lot of politics, I will say, that's around the topic COVID. Some will say, I'm just but coughing, and therefore I can mingle with the rest. What did you do as a person to protect yourself and the rest of your family, sir?
Lukiani, the first thing upon getting those results, I took because I got results at around 2:30. So it took me around 3 hours to wait for my wife to come. My wife to come back home from work, and then I broke those news to my wife.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
So I got advice from my wife to see the doctor at that particular night. So I went to Mombasa Hospital for a CT scan. For a CT scan to establish if there were any underlying complications in my body. Lucky enough, everything was okay. They looked into my lungs, they looked at my livers and everything. That was okay. And they did in an express way. I got the results at that particular night, the same night. So I saw the doctor there, but the doctor, upon looking at my condition, he said that mine was not severe, so I can just go home and come back tomorrow for more checkup.
Checkup, yeah.
Yes. So upon getting home, I decided not to go back to Mombasa Hospital. I called my sub-county MOH to explain about the matter, and he referred me to the person in charge of medical health in my constituency called Madam Nelly.
Yep.
These are officers from the county government of Mombasa.
Yeah.
They came to my place. They saw my status.
Yeah.
They prescribed medicines for me. That is the step that I'm telling you on how I undergo in terms of medication.
Yes.
They prescribed medicines for me.
Yeah.
And the kind of medicines that they described for me was azithromycin, zinc,
yeah,
vitamin C supplements,
yeah,
Parafast for fatigue, Nexium for my heartburn,
yeah,
Myospas for muscle relaxers.
Whoa.
Steaming, doing a lot of steaming in the morning and in the evening as well.
Where were you steaming, sir? In your house, or you had to go to
No. I was steaming in my house. Actually, I thank God.
Yep.
In my house, there I have a very nice rooftop,
Yep.
which I used it to isolate myself.
Okay.
And all those things I was doing them at my rooftop. That was my isolation area. Actually, I can say.
Yep.
There was a boundary between me and family members. My family members were on the other side of the house, and I was at the rooftop.
How did you keep with the boredom? Because I understand with the nature of your job, you are always on the road from place to place. What made you stay home?
Lukiani, that is a very interesting question.
Yeah.
That is a very good experience of my lifetime that I got during that time.
Yeah.
But I think you saw yesterday and the day before yesterday on certain media houses when they came home.
Yeah.
They have seen I have machines which are used for doing exercises.
Yeah.
I have exercise bikes. I have steppers. I have dumbbells. I have ropes, which I use to turn that place to be my private gym.
Yeah.
And as well, there were some birds up in my rooftop, which I used to talk to Ondo Ayobot also. Lakini it was a very hard experience, taking into account that I'm used to running up and down. I'm used to seeing people every time.
Yep.
General public is my way of life, and then to isolate yourself now, to live alone in a place, not seeing even your family members, is a very hard experience too. But if you are a disciplined person, for the sake of your life, you will adhere to those advices.
Yep.
So I decided to take all those steps for my own life and for the lives of the people whom I love so much. That is my family and my constituents.
Yeah. And
Yes.
Mheshimiwa Bady, even as we have this conversation, there has been a lot of speculation surrounding your sickness, and some point at the fact that it's out of the rallies that you are attending. Could this be really where you might have actually get this infection from, sir? And that is why you decided to stay away.
That kind of a question was posed to the Right Honorable Prime Minister Mheshimiwa Raila Amolo Odinga when he was in State House.
True.
He was asked the same kind of a question, and he replied that he cannot figure out exactly where he contracted corona.
Yep.
And basically the same. I cannot figure out where exactly I contracted corona.
Yep.
I cannot say that it was due to the entourage between me and the Right Honorable Raila Odinga on that particular day that caused me to contract corona.
Yeah.
I rule out on that because I was not alone. I was together with Honorable Abdul Swamad.
Yeah.
I was together with my sister Mishi. I was together with my sister Asha Hussein Ashu. I was together with mzee wetu Omar Mwinyi. I was together with Governor Ali Hassan Joho. So if at all it was during on that particular time, at least one or two could have contracted the same.
Yeah.
But Mishi is okay and all other fellows are okay. So I cannot figure out exactly it was due to that entourage on that particular time, or it was within the constituency or outside the constituency, maybe in Nairobi or in any other place, but I cannot figure out. But that is a very good question for the sake of the listener or the viewer.
Yes.
That you can really take care of yourself out of this corona thing.
Yeah.
But the moment you show up laxity, even for a second, this virus can catch up with you. And that is why we cannot figure out where exactly did we contract corona.
Yeah.
So mimi nataka kuambia wananchi, ile siku wewe utapea kidogo useme kwa hapa naamini, basi ujue hapo ndio unaweza kushikwa na corona. Don't take chances. Corona is a bad thing. This is not a bacterial infection. This is a viral infection. You can't see it is a very tiny thing. Now, you can contract corona through coming to get into contact with the people. You can contract corona through getting into a contaminated area. You can contract corona, maybe somebody who is passing nearby you and cough. So this corona thing is a very hard and complicated thing. So I urge to the general public to be extra vigilant on this thing.
Yeah.
Kwa sababu kama ni hivyo pia sisi tungesema on that particular day tulikuwa mahali fulani, lakini we cannot figure out. Tukijaribu kufigure out kama ni hiyo, mbona wenzetu wengine hakuna mmoja ambaye aliweza pia kupatikana. Kwa hivyo it might be kuwa ni mahali ambapo ulikuwa hudhani na hiyo ndio ika catch up with you. So I'm urging to the general public to make sure that they keep vigil at all particular time, na Mungu akituwezesha ugonjwa hii haitoweza kupata watu wetu, na Mungu atawastiri watu wetu na vile vile watu wetu will be safe at all times.
So Mheshimiwa, there's one question that I would like to ask before we go to the vaccine issue. From your own constituency, yes. What are the figures like? How many do you, from the intelligence that you have, how many have been infected and actually been treated from coronavirus?
They're around 126.
Thousands or only 126 people?
No, only 126. You know, I want to take this great opportunity to thank my people of Jomvu constituency kwa kuweza kujikinga sana kwa ajili ya hii ugonjwa wa corona. Lukiani, every day we get briefs from Mutai Kagwe and from Kas Mwangangi about the number of people who have been infected by corona countrywide. And according to statistics here in Mombasa, Jomvu, we have the least number of people who have contracted corona. And I think it is due to good discipline, the way we sensitize our people about this disease, and the way people are taking care of themselves. Watu Jomvu wanajichunga, na ukiangalia hiyo namba, it is not so much alarming. Namba ni hiyo ambayo mimi nimekueleza, na hivi sasa watu ambao wako katika home based care katika entire constituency ni only 16 according to the doctors ambao walikuwa kwangu na kunieleza, only 16. But I want to say right now that this corona thing is something ambayo haieleweki kabisa, kwa sababu number ya corona will never remain constant. Namba ya corona always fluctuates, kwa sababu leo unaweza sema ni 16, kesho na siku nyingine watu come loosen up na ikaongezeka kapungua. Kwa hivyo kubwa ni kuangalia na kuwasisitiza watu, kwa sababu right now there is no cure for corona. The only way to deal with corona is through a preventive way. There is no curative way for corona up to now. Even these vaccines which have come, they are just preventing you from contracting corona, ama zinakusaidia to boost your immune system. Ile corona ingekupata kabla hujakuwa na hiyo nguvu, kwa sasa ikija iwe itakuja in a mild way, ama iwe itakuwa haina nguvu ya kukubwaga. Lakini mpaka saa hii hatuwezi kusema kuwa kuna dawa ya corona. Mpaka saa hizi the only way out to do is through a preventive way, not through a curative way.
So even as we discuss curative and preventive measures, sir, are you advocating for the use of these COVID-19 vaccines that have come in the market? Because there are a lot of people that are having their second thought about them. What would you tell them as their representatives, sir?
I want to encourage each and every citizen to make a good decision on how to approach about this vaccine thing. They should not listen to these hearsays from here and there. As a leader, as a member of parliament for Jomvu, I urge my people of Jomvu, Mombasa County at large, and in the entire country to be vaccinated for coronavirus. This is a bold and open message from Member of Parliament from Jomvu. You need to be protected. Government cannot be out to kill its people. Government is there to prevent its people. So hii story mingi, hati mara wengine unasikia, kuna mmoja amenielezea juzi, anambia president nafikiri alidungwa maji, akudungwa ile alichukua maji akadungwa maji. Sasa mimi nashangaa, hakuna hii kitu madamu imekuja, vifo vinatokea, lakini kitu ambayo mimi ndasema, let us not put politics on matters of health. People should go and vaccinated. And if you have any question about this thing, seek for a medical professional to advise you on this.
Yep.
Yes. Don't listen to people out here and there.
Indeed, we are talking to Honorable Badi Twalib Bady, the Member of Parliament from Jomvu, and we're trying to understand his story and his journey through recovery after he contracted some time back last month COVID-19 infection, and here he is strong and kicking. Kidogo nikupe jina fulani, lakini nitabwagwa makofi hapo, acha nisitumie.
Jina unaweza kuniita jina yoyote, ile jina ambayo atakuniita, usijali, unaweza kuniita, kwa sababu mimi mwenyewe ni mtu wa majina. Mimi naitwa Badi Twalib aka kijana mwepesi, Garang Dima Biori, mzee Fula Ngenge.
Sasa hapo kwa mzee Fula Ngenge ndio nilikuwa nataka kusema.
Na hapo sasa nakuongezea na nyingine, bosi ya Mboka na Jomvu.
Wow. Okay, kidogo unaanza kuniongelesha, tafikiri wasema Kilingala, lakini so mheshimiwa,
yes,
you are one of the lucky people that actually were not well bedridden because of corona infection, but I know for sure there are your constituency members that might have been infected to the level they needed to have that oxygen put in them, and most of them cannot afford these treatments. What is the cover that they have with NHIF, and what exactly are they covered with this National Hospital Insurance Fund? If you can address that, sir.
Actually, that is a very good question. Due to corona, during the first time or first wave of corona, we sat down as an office, and we said, hey, the disease has come and we are living with it now. And there are so many people within our constituency which cannot afford medical to go to medical facilities, because during this corona, people have lost jobs. During this time of corona, people have failed to pay rents and been kicked out of their houses. Mama mboga cannot do her business on well. Sasa tukasema ni lazima we should come up with something to help up our people. And so we decided to engage ourselves with NHIF. And we gave out 1,700 cards, which translates to 8,500 people whom are treated right now free of charge. And the second thing which I want to be open to the general public, there is this company near Shriji is called what? Devki. There is this company Devki, which is MD is Mr. Guru, is our friend. So right now that company, having an advantage to that company, we have also cylinders to those who need oxygen free of charge. But we have not experienced much severe cases up to the extent of running up and down to look for cylinders for the patients. But for now, there are people who have contracted corona and they have healed, but they had other related corona implicated diseases, which they use those NHIF cards to go to Mikindani Medical, to go to Jomvu Model Health Center, to go to Answar, to go to Coast General, to go to Portrees, to go to very many places. For sure, one thing that I'm very happy of to my people is this medical cover, because this impacts directly to mwananchi. Somebody was not sick 3 weeks ago, and I came across him. He told me, Mheshimiwa, wajua alikuwa anataka kuangalia kama hii kadi yako ilikuwa inafanya kazi, so he decided to go to Mikindani Medical. Akasema mimi niko na mafua na mafua na kohoa, just to be sure kama ile kadi inafanya kazi. Na alipoona kweli amekuwa treated kuingia na kutoka nje hospitali without a single penny, aliona ni msaada tumemfanyia. Kwa hivyo hii cover ni msaada, na tunasema leo nimepata a very good opportunity. There are around 75 cards which are lying in my office to the people who have applied but they did not come to receive their cards. Na hawa ni normal people katika mitaa ambao wakiona kitu kinatangazwa na ofisi they run away, na wakati hawana haja ya hiyo kitu, just kuangalia na kuingia tu kwenye fikra ambao ni ya kipuuzi. Sasa wana hold those cards 75 in our office. Na kuna watu saizi wana shida, wataka matibabu hawezi kupata, pengine mahali pale hawezi kupata. I have instructed my office right away kutafuta watu wapya na kuwapatia hizo cards, na hao ambao walichelewa kuja kuchukua hizo cards waache wale wengine ambao wana shida ya kuchukua hizo cards waende wachukue cards wajisaidie. Kila kadi moja inasaidia mama, baba na mtoto kama watatu, au kadi moja inasaidia 5 people. Ikiwa kadi moja inasaidia 5 people, hizo kadi mimi nimekwambia ni ngapi ambazo ziko ofisini?
75.
Sasa 75 multiply by 5, hiyo ni watu wangapi ambao tungesaidia wanaziacha ofisini? 375 people. Hivyo atakunambia hakuna 375 people ambao wanaweza kuwa wana shida ya hospitali ambao tutaka tuwasaidie. Kwa hivyo mimi nimerule out as a member of parliament kusema those people we will no longer keep those cards for them. We will substitute those cards to the people who are there in their need of getting medical services to our respective facilities. So, alafu nataka kuchukua pia wakati huu Lukuyani kuwapongeza madaktari wa County Government of Mombasa, Sub County MOH, clinician ambaye alikuwa ananiangalia, therapist ambaye alikuwa yuko hapo, na pia vile vile hawa nutritionist ambaye pia alikuwa yuko pale. Kwa hivyo hawa wote walikuwa wakiniangalia kwa records zao, kwa hivyo nawapongeza, na I want to urge each and everybody to have confidence kwa hizi facilities zetu ambazo tuko. Mimi nitakwambia Lukuyani, my friend, sitataja ni nani, lakini is my friend, na huyu my friend, wewe ni mtu ambaye uko katika media industry. Nenda kwa Brian wa gazeti ya Star, atakwambia alihoji nani, akamwambia corona ilimcost 1.2 million. 1.2 million. Sasa hiyo 1.2 million huyu mtu aliweza kwa na 1.2 million. Mwananchi wa kawaida ikiwa hana 1.2 million, mimi as a member of parliament nimejitokeza to set a precedence that local doctors wanaweza kututibu free of charge. Wanaweza kututibu kwa sababu kitu ambayo inaua watu kwa maneno ya corona ni stigmatization. Unaona mtu ukishikwa na corona watu hawatakusalimia, ati sijui watu wanasema wewe akipita karibu yangu pia mimi atanitia corona. Mimi leo nasema one of the things that have helped me to heal very fast is the support that I got from people around me. My friends used to call me every time. Governor wa mji wa Mombasa every morning alikuwa akinipigia akiniambia, Badi, mimi ndio nilisababisha wewe ukajua hali yako kwa kuwa wewe una corona. How are you doing today my brother? Ananijulisha kila siku, tulikuwa akinijulia hali yangu. Marafiki wakinijulia hali yangu. Family members wakinijulia hali yangu. I want to take this opportunity to thank my own mom, mamangu mzazi. She was a very strong pillar and supporter akisaidiana na bibi yangu, my lovely wife Furea. Kwa hivyo masupport ambayo mimi niliweza kupata ilikuwa ni overwhelming support. Kwa hivyo watu wasidanganywe na hizi maneno tu za hapa corona mpaka nenda hospitali, wewe umeshikwa hiyo nenda Potrizi hapo, nenda kwa Dr. Phyllis Jomvu Model Health Center, they are there. We have a surveillance team ikiongozwa na Kipsang na Boit. Yuko Moses ambaye anahusiana na mambo ya home based care. Hayo yote tumeyaweka na program tunairan kama vilivyo. Mimi Lukuyani nataka kuambia, nikiwa member of parliament nilifundisha watoto kwangu juu ya mambo ya technical subjects, na nikasema nimepeleka watoto kwa mambo ya plumbing, nikapeleka mambo ya electrical, nikapeleka mambo ya mechanical, nikapeleka mambo ya tailoring. Ilipokuja fika wakati huo wa corona, niliita wale niliopeleka wakati wa mambo ya tailoring, nikamwambia nyinyi nimewasomesha, sasa corona imekuja, what are you going to offer to the community? Sasa mimi kama mbunge niliwafundisha ili muwe na faida, you give back to the community. Niliwanunulia varahani 8 ambao varahani vile 8 ambao mimi niliweza kuwanunulia walikuwa wanatengeneza face masks, na tulikuwa tuna distribute free of charge. Kwa kila siku kila msichana atengeneza face mask 150. You
and
can imagine
how do they make money from that, because you're distributing them free of charge? Who gets to pay who, sir? Let me understand that.
Wasichana wote ambao walikuwa wakifanya, mimi ndio nilikuwa nikiwapatia, sio salary, tukiwapatia token out of my own pocket, nikiwaambia hii ni janga imekuja, this is not a permanent thing, come in here. Niliwafundisha mimi ili muwe na faida, na walipokuja nilikuwa kila siku tunasikizana, wakitengeneza mimi ndio nilikuwa natoa pesa my pocket, na hizo vitu ilikuwa na distribute. Na nafikiri katika wengi walikuja wakaja wakaona hiyo concept ambayo ilikuwa tunaifanya au wasichana wetu. Second wave ilipokwisha, nilikaa mimi na wao, we didn't anticipate that third wave could come. Tulijua tumeweza kudhibiti. Nikawaambia zawadi yenu kwa vile mlijitolea, kila msichana aliyekalia machine as a way of empowering you people, kila mmoja nitampatia hiyo mashini free of charge, aende akafanye kazi mwenyewe imsaidie. Kwa hivyo kila msichana ambaye anafanya kazi hapo, nili hand over machine to her free of charge, asiwe akaenda nayo nyumbani. Leo inamsaidia katika mambo mbalimbali ambayo inaweza kuwasaidia, na sisi pia tunaendelea katika mambo ya sensitization, kwa elimisha watu wetu juu ya mambo ya corona.
Okay, sir. Let me bring you back to again the subject matter, and that's a very good initiative you did. Palipo na, I mean, when you do good, we have to congratulate you, sir. That's well done.
Thank
now,
you. Thank
Mr. Nini Mheshimiwa, kuna issue ambayo imetokea, and again I'll go back to English. The issue of insecurity that has come up thanks to COVID break. How are you doing to address this in your area?
Come again?
The issue of insecurity. We have had cases of people breaking into people's property or business premises, and all this is being correlated with the growth of unavailability for work or a loss of work. And a lot of those people do not have a way of life. How do you address this issue in your constituency?
That is very true. We have those kind of incidences in very many parts of the constituency, and not only in Jomvu constituency, but in Mombasa at large, and even I can generalize to say in the whole country, there is shortage of employment. And due to this corona virus, it is true, people have influenced to do bad things in order to cater for their life. Because if you can see somebody has to pay rent, somebody has certain bills to cater, and he doesn't have some source of getting some money. He engaged in some unlawful activities sometimes. But I can say, particularly in my constituency, we can't say that we don't have those kind of incidences, but there are many more. And I want to take this opportunity at this moment in time to congratulate the security team in my constituency, led by my OCPD, the new one, and as well my OCS. And I want to thank my CDF team or my office team for having done a lot to advise me to concentrate to do things related to security. As I'm talking to you now, I have built 3 police stations. I have a police station in Jomvu. I'm yet to build, I have built one in Maganda, Meke Emeritini, and there is an ongoing one in Mikindani. You have seen on the media last 3 months, I acquired a Land Rover through presidential directive to my security personnel. And as well, still there are 2 more Land Rovers to come to my constituency. Policemen are vigilant because as a member of parliament, I'm a MNA, I'm a member of National Assembly. My mandate, one is related to national issues. So I have every opportunity to talk to this personal security personnel, and they do regularly give me reports on how the constituency is faring on. So on matters of security, I can say we thank our youths in our area, despite the fact that there are no work, but there hasn't been much matters of insecurity. But I say, as a member of parliament, it is much our responsibility to find ways on how we can engage these youths in more meaningful activities to do in order to cater for their livelihoods. Personally, as a member of parliament, I want to thank this government, because in this program of Kazi Mtaani, first it came to Mombasa as a pilot project, where the people who benefited were Jomvu, Nyali, and Mvita. So we got the first batch of 2,000 youths, which we 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 absorbed, and then it came the second lot of 900. So I have 2,900 vijana ambao walikuwa wanafanya hiyo kazi, na hivi sasa nafikiri kuna areas za wao pia nachukua this opportunity ambao walikuwa ziweze kupatikana na zimelipwa kwa wakati huu mpaka Friday watakuwa wameanza kupokea pesa.
Great. Mheshimiwa, we go back to a very pertinent issue, and this is the closing down of tourism, especially in the coastal region, because of the growing infection rates in the country. To what extent has this harmed the economy of the region at large, and specifically in your constituency?
It has affected to a larger extent, I can say, because as we know, we used to see tourism as the main activity here at the coast, and there is no question about it, because Corona has really affected tourism industry. And here in Mombasa, when one place is affected, another...
Go ahead, sir.
Can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead. I can hear you.
Yes. When one place is affected, definitely the impact goes even to very many places. Because currently the tourism industry has been largely affected by Corona. And we know that there were a lot of people who were working in those hotels and all other tourism sector areas. So by being affected by Corona, you see there are very many people who have been laid off, and instead of residing in those places, they are now coming to their constituencies. And sometimes you see, by having very many unemployed people, it becomes a burden. The reason of things like insecurity and other things being as a result of people being idle. So in short, I can say that generally coronavirus has really affected a lot the tourism industry. It is high time for the government to come up to see how best they can cushion or they can intervene, just the way they have done it on AMA, the way they are trying to do it in Kenya Airways. They should do basically the same on the tourism industry. Because on tourism industry here in Kenya, you see we have Mombasa, we have Naivasha, we have other people who are mainly versed with this tourism sector. But Mombasa is the main of all. So we are urging the government through His Excellency President Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta to intervene na hakikisha kuwa he finds an amicable way on how to stabilize tourism, even if we have this corona pandemic at the moment in time. Kwa sababu corona is here with us. Now we have to live with it. The only way out is to find a way. How are we going to live with corona being in our midst?
Any practical suggestions for that? Any practical suggestion? Because as you said, corona is here to stay. It's not going anywhere.
The practical suggestion is the Kenya Tourism Fund. You know, there is Kenya Tourism Fund Board at which is in Nairobi, you know, near Integrity House.
Yeah.
There is that headquarter office in there. So practical suggestion, according to me, I will urge for those people to come down to assess,
Yeah.
so that they can try to pump some money, even if it will be on a grant form or any other way, lakini to revamp the business ambayo it has already lost. You can see Travelers is one of the hotels which have been affected.
Yeah.
White Sands is one of the hotels which have been affected. They are just crippling in kuangalia kuja na vitu nyingine, local tourism and other things.
Yeah.
You go to Flamingo, it has closed down. Now it has been taken over by other people. So let me give you a practical example of Travelers. Travelers has been affected due to Corona. Just 3 days back, Mr. Sondi, his chairman, passed away. Maybe he was a sole person who used to run up and down on the affairs of Travelers. Now he has gone. Maybe those who are working in there, their position is at stake. So the government should come up. It's not about individual, it's about institutions. We have Kenya Tourism Fund. Let it come down to see all these hotels, sit down, have a meaningful engagement on how they can revamp the business. We cannot give excuses to say that we have Corona and so we are waiting for Almighty God to say that now Corona is over and we move on. No.
Yeah.
God is there to help us, but we need also to pull up our socks to help ourselves to have programs to come with meaningful ways. You see, here in Mombasa, in fact, we are the people who are most affected. Because tourism sector is on its knees. Logistics sector is on its knees as well. Those who have been doing clearing and forwarding at the moment in time, they have got nothing to do. Look at the heydays where you used to see people at long room there at customs. Nowadays, that thing has been closed down. There is nothing that our people are doing. Logistics industry is fading away. Customarily, we used to do certain things. Even there were briefcase companies. Other people, watu tu wanasema maneno mengi, so long as mtu aibi ajitafutia kwa mambo yake. Hivi sasa hizo briefcase companies ambazo we used to see people running up and down in Moi Avenue, where are now nowadays? They are no longer there.
Okay, Honorable Bady.
Let me. I don't want to go to politics. I'm a politician. Every port city has developed. Look at the Antwerp. Look at the Long Beach. Look at the Durban port. It's having a municipality called Ethekwini. Look at Dubai. All these port cities have grown. But the shocking thing, Mombasa is a port city. They are always telling us that they want to make Kenya Ports Authority a world-class port. How do you want to make a world-class port with a rotten city, while all world-class ports goes with world-class cities? Tunataka tuone kwa serikali imechip in kuangalia ndio kuna hili janga lizoondoka ikiwa atakuwa hakuna mkono wa serikali kusaidia. No. Twashukuru kwa pande nyingine ikiwa wametusaidia kwa hii mambo, ijapokuwa kazi kwa vijana ndio wanapata hii kazi, lakini is a temporary thing. Lazima kuwe na meaningful thing ambayo baada ya corona watoto wetu wataweza kuendelea na wataweza kujisukuma katika maisha yao sawa.
And of course, Mheshimiwa, those are one of the most important issues we have to look into going into future. Very fast, mention something about the HIV, the program you're running that you launched last year, sir.
Yeah, HIV program is still on. I think last month you saw me with these support groups at Mikindani having a function. And I came up with this program because very many people affected with HIV, watu wengi waliwa neglect. Na tukumbuke, these are people who are living within our areas and we are living with them. Na ikiwa hatutakuwa na any meaningful way to help these people, this is a certain cluster of people ambao wao wenyewe kwa sababu ya position of stigmatization they can't come out. Sasa mimi kama kiongozi, ikiwa wao hawezi kukama up, ni wajibu wangu mimi kuwatafuta, na hivi sasa I've got a very good network of them. Niko na network ambayo ninajua nao wako na wanaishi kama vile watu wengine ambao wanaishi. Last time tulijaribu tuwa engage, na namshukuru sana huyu MOH assistant wetu Madam Nelly ambaye tulishirikiana, niliwaunganisha pamoja na hii kampuni ambayo ina contract ya Dongo Kundu Fujita. They were given some food. Hivi sasa tumekubaliana na hawa wote mambo ya HIV kuona kuwa pia we have given them NHIF cards ambazo zinawasaidia wao plus their loved ones. Alafu vile vile according to hivi sasa tukitoa vitu kama sort of bursaries, tumewaeka kama certain cluster. Tukishajua kwa wao ni wangapi, tunajua ni wangapi ambao wana watoto university, ni wangapi wana watoto secondary, we are giving them bursaries. Kwa hivyo the only thing ambayo niliona tu ni wa support kama vile watu wengine ambao walikuwa ni wa support. Na tukiangalia into a current situation ya corona, tunaona kuwa unaweza kupoa corona, lakini kuna kitu inaitwa underlying implications ama underlying related diseases ambazo unaona yes conditions kama hizo sasa zinawasumbua. Ikiwa hutaweza kuangalia vizuri, utaona mtu amepona corona lakini bado mtu huyu ugonjwa unaendelea kumsumbua, kwa zile swali yako ya kwanza ya kusema kuhusiana na mambo ya symptoms ambayo nikaona kwa ni muhimu nione kwa nimeweza kukujibu.
Asante sana Mheshimiwa Honorable Badi Twalib Bady, naye ni mheshimiwa wa constituency ya Jomvu, or that's the member of parliament Jomvu constituency. We've been hanging out with him for the last 50 plus minutes. And sir, thank you so much for enlightening us. And as we finish up, what is your last clarion call to the rest of members of parliament and equally your constituency members?
Is to come out boldly, just the way I have done. To come out boldly, not to shy away, because this is the only way to give people hope. Wengi wamekuwa ni wagonjwa. My clarion call to my constituents is to come out boldly, to speak out about these things, to sensitize people. Na jambo ingine ambayo mimi hiyo nimetaka kuzungumza, kusema kuwa viongozi wengi wamejificha, lakini ukijificha hujasaidia. Mimi katika njia moja ambayo nilikuwa nataka kusaidia ni kusema kuwa anayeona kwa sasa mheshimiwa alishikwa na hii ugonjwa na amesema tuchukue tahadhari, ni muhimu wake achukue tahadhari ile. Kwa hivyo kitu ambacho mimi nataka kusema ni kwa kuwa we don't have a curative way to treat corona. The only way out to do is through a preventive way. Kwa hivyo watu wangu wajichunge, wajomvu, na kufuata Ministry of Health protocols ambazo zimewekwa za social distancing, washing your hands regularly, wearing of face masks. Nafikiri mimi kutoka wakati nimeanza interview niko hapa, lakini nimeweka mask yangu as a way of indication ya kwa kuwa ni moja ya kukumbusha. I don't want to say kwa Lukuyani you haven't worn yours kwa ni makosa, no.
I think you have too many people around you.
Definitely, I have too many people around me.
Being mheshimiwa is normal. Being
I was consulting about vijana mambo ya kazi kwa vijana, nikimuuliza mmoja wamelipwa. I have so many people around me, it is very true, lakini watu ni lazima wafuate hizo guideline: social distancing, wearing of face masks, washing your hands regularly, and I can say it becomes more perfect to wash your hands regularly than to use sanitizer. You can use sanitizer. I cannot say kwa ni mbaya kutumia sanitizer. You sanitize yourself, lakini mostly ukiosha, usidharau, uosha mikono kwa wakati wowote, being on clean places, and as well you eat good food. Good food doesn't need expensive food, lakini unahakikisha mostly vitu ambavyo vina boost immune system yako. Alafu pia nataka kueleza kusema kuwa watu ni lazima wapendane. Everybody should be a brother's keeper or a sister's keeper. Leo hata ukiwa na maski moja, ukisaidia jirani yako, hujui pengine huyo jirani yako angekwenda akashikwa na corona kama vile Mheshimiwa Badi alishikwa, na wewe ndio ukamsaidia kwa kumpatia hiyo maski moja. Kwa hivyo ni maski moja ambayo umepatia, lakini imesave maisha yake na ingesave matatizo makubwa ambayo ingesababisha kwa huo ugonjwa wa huo mtu. Mimi nataka kuchukua fursa hii to tell all of my constituents, tuko pamoja, tutashirikiana pamoja, na mimi kama kiongozi mambo ya ugonjwa hii nitafuatilizia vilivyo, na waliniona wakati wa nyuma government ilipoamua kuwa truck drivers watapimwa pale katikati ya estate ya Mugusi. Nilikataa openly, dunia nzima ikiona, nikasema this is not the best way to do, it's going to affect my people. Na kweli serikali naishukuru iliweza kunisikiza, county government nashukuru iliweza kunisikiza. We transferred that center up to the vehicle inspection along the highway, mahali ambapo hakuna any risk of contacts ambao wanaweza kuwa pale. Kwa hivyo mimi naamini ni msaada niliofanyia watu wangu, la si hivyo pengine tungekuwa kwenye red line ama ya kuonyesha kwa watu wetu wamekuwa infected na hii corona, kwa sababu that place inlet na outlet ni hiyo moja. Madereva kutoka Kampala, madereva kutoka Kongo, madereva kutoka kila mahali walikuwa wanakuja pale kuja kupimwa. Unaona, ingekuwa tumewaweka at risk. Kwa hivyo mimi nawaambia watu wetu, nafanya very close monitoring ya haya mambo. Surveillance team yote hii ambayo iko kwa mambo ya public health tunashughulika nayo, na hivi sasa nataka nieleze pia kuna program ya manet, hizi mosquito nets ambazo ina run na county government of Mombasa through Mheshimiwa Governor Ali Hassan Joho. Nataka kuambia wale wanaofanya mapping wote, wale watu ambao wa capture nyumba zote, ili kila moja tuhakikishe wakati huo wa mvua utakaokuja kusiwe ni maneno ya corona na maneno ya malaria. Tukinge watu wetu kwa mapema. Good leaders are the ones who can foresee ahead, na wanaona kwa kule mbele kutakuwa na matatizo mengi ambayo yatakuja pale. Kwa hivyo my clarion call to all of my people is to be vigilant, to take care of themselves always, and to follow or adhere to Ministry of Health protocols at all times.
Indeed, that is Honorable Badi Twalib Bady, Member of Parliament, Jomvu constituency, coming to us live from Mombasa County. Thank you, sir, for your time. And to all our Muslim brothers, I want to wish you Ramadan Kareem. And for everybody that joined us and made this cast possible on behalf of Jiltex Media, I want to say very, very thank you. And of course, share the link. Be sure to interact more and join the bandwagon so that we can spread the news and information against the fight, against coronavirus. Till next time, Mheshimiwa, have a great evening. I've been your host, Likuyani Eli, and see you soon. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Much pleasure having you. Kwaheri sana.
Thank you.